This episode is brought to you by LifeLock. When you visit the doctor, you probably hand over your insurance, your ID, and contact details. It's just one of the many places that has your personal info. And if any of them accidentally expose it, you could be at risk for identity theft. LifeLock monitors millions of data points a second. If you become a victim, they'll fix it, guaranteed, or your money back. Save up to 40% your first year at LifeLock.com/podcast. Terms apply.
Hello everybody, this is Joel with Brutally Delicious, here today to chat a bit about Signs of the Swarm's new upcoming album called To Rid Myself of Truth. Okay, so let's be honest. Keeping up with new faces and trends in metal, that can feel like a full-time job sometimes. This is especially true for those of us who have been fans for decades before some of these bands were formed. And as an older dude myself, I'll admit that modern deathcore, it often features unique, shall we say, vocal styles. It hasn't always been my first choice of listening. However, listening to Signs of the Swarm's upcoming release made me rethink some of these preferences just a little bit. To Rid Myself of Truth is the band's sixth album. And I guess, for lack of a better word, I would say that it's very interesting. I'm not going to leave it at that, but I think that's a good word for it. It still has the heavy breakdowns you would expect from any deathcore outfit worth its salt, but it seems that the band has grown beyond some of the earlier tropes of the genre that didn't quite resonate with me. Specifically, those pig squeals, for one thing. Oh, man. I just don't get that side of things at all. Lorna Shore is perhaps the best known example of this swine-like vocal aggression. It was more prevalent on Signs of the Swarm's older material, their first two albums. Honestly, those are the only two I know too well, but it's largely absent here on this new one, and that alone makes the whole experience feel more purposeful and impactful. This isn't about fleeting look at me moments or for an ever shrinking attention span. It's a refreshing pursuit of substance over style, which I suspect is entirely intentional. The record has a side A, side B kind of vibe, but it in a really effective, deliberate way. The first half is just pure aggression, as one might expect from Signs of the Swarm. It's a good example of controlled chaos, though. But as you get deeper into the record, something shifts. This is where the band's metamorphosis, so to speak, really takes off. It reveals a sound as much indebted to Meshuggah as it is maybe bands like Fit for an Autopsy or Mitch Luker era Suicide Silence. The guitars, powered by the recent addition of Carl Schultz, even towards the beginning, start weaving in these really cool melodic layers. We're talking about real riff-heavy earworms, specifically on tracks like Natural Selection and Forcing to Forget. Then later, the atmosphere appears more heavily on tracks like Iron Sacrament and Sharkazine. And while you won't find traditional guitar solos in the classic sense, the way they layer those guitars to provide melody underneath the typical sonic devastation of metalcore, it's really pretty magnificent. It's like a hidden current of melody guiding you through a storm. I really like that aspect of the record. The vocalist, David Simonich, still delivers a gargling corrosive growls that, according to the press release, says, and I like this, it says that Simonich's vocals outmonster many of his peers. I think that's a really good way to put it. But there's also mention of a newfound focus on chorus-driven deathcore, which really rings true in a big way on this record. It's quite impressive. The band also gets some vocal assistance from heavy hitters like Will Ramos from Lorna Shore and Phil Bozeman from Whitechapel. And these are other examples of the band changing up their focus a bit. Even with Ramos on board, the album smartly sidesteps relying completely on the vocal acrobatics that might deter some of us older dudes, some of us more seasoned metalheads. Instead, it's about an overwhelming energy, that internal pissed offness that conveys raw personal truth behind the music. Take the title track, To Rid Me of Truth, which pulls you into sort of a confession of sins and a battle with inner demons. Some of the lyrics are, as I sink into the river of my sins, where should I even begin? And then there's a track called Hell Must Fear Me. It's a brutal declaration of inner power forged through pain. Some of the lyrics are, I am the endless terror embedded throughout divinity. Quote by Simonich says, I scream things I'm too chicken shit to talk about, which really rings true on this album, making the songs resonate, at least with me, on a much deeper level. Ultimately, To Rid Myself of Truth is a testament to Signs of the Swarm's growth. They've found a way to deliver punishing deathcore that doesn't just bludgeon you to death, it also manages to surprise with a nuanced musicality, really intense lyrical honesty. It's a solid listen that proves that being open to new experiences can lead to some unexpected discoveries, especially when the band is this good at showing them off. Now, I saw Signs of the Swarm play at the Toledo Death Fest a couple years ago. They headlined. So I know from experience that the stage is where they really get the chance to shine. So if you get the chance, be sure to catch them on their upcoming tour of North America, their headlining tour, or if you're feeling a little more adventurous, head to Europe for their festival run. The album they're supporting is, I think, their best work, their strongest work, and I'm really looking forward to hearing some of these songs at higher decibels and energy levels. So yeah, I'd encourage you all to give it a listen, check it out. The album releases August 22nd, out from Century Media Records. Recommended. Thank you all for listening, and everybody take care. See ya.